Greetings and salutations, my precious weirdos. Never in a million years would I have anticipated becoming a content creator on YouTube and in an online community devoted to the roasting, research, and sometimes catfishing of that cadre of repugnant predators who comprise the ranks of To Catch a Predator. Nevertheless, here I am, now with more than 175 subscribers. Unfucking believable. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to everyone who has supported my channel. Now, even when I was still a newcomer to the community, it never sat well with me how Kayla was written off as two-dimensional or developmentally disabled. One of my goals is to change people's mind about Kayla and attempt to demonstrate the complexity I've always seen within her. Even though her responses in the chat log were short, Kayla's ambiguity should never be confused with simplicity. In my creative vision, there are facets of Kayla's life that she never intended to share with Lauren. And the following bonus entry to Kayla's diary is a rather dramatic example of this, and one that's filled with high strangeness. I want to keep this short, so let me offer again a multitude of thanks to all of you who have subscribed and supported my channel. You are all beautiful beings, and I am humbled by your countenance and encouragement. Namaste. Kayla's Diary, Addendum 1, Day 3, 6:30 a.m. I can't quite believe what just happened, diary. And I'm not exactly sure what to do next. I seriously doubt that Mom or Dad would even believe me if I tried to tell them what just transpired. After chatting with Lauren last night, I turned off all my lights and got into bed as usual. At first, I remember laying supine in bed. I kept still and gave my eyes and ears time to adjust to the darkness. Gradually, the features of my room became visible again, and simultaneously my ears noticed an emerging melody of nocturnal sounds, mostly associated with insects, birds, and the random neighborhood dog barking into the night. Normally, once my senses adjust, I would begin to recall my day, taking mental notes as needed of any items that might require additional attention. Most nights, I take an idiosyncratic solace in my ritual, but last night was vastly different. There was no end-of-day evaluation. The moment my head hit the pillow, my consciousness receded into a dreamless sleep. And then suddenly, my awareness comes screaming back. My eyes snap open, and I begin to frantically attempt to discern myself in 3 dimensions. My perceptions are still fuzzy from being asleep, but I am certain of one thing. I feel a coldness all about me. I try to grab the blanket that I keep at the foot of my bed for such occasions, but nothing happens. It takes a few more moments for my brain to process what happened or what didn't happen, and assuming some weird form of sleepiness hijinks, I try again, but with the same result. I cannot move. Not a single muscle, save for my eyelids. Why can't I move? Did something happen to me while I slept? Am I paralyzed? My heart starts to beat faster, and a cold sweat emerges on my brow. I am so confused and scared, and then something catches my eye in the darkest corner of my room. I attempt to focus in to see what it is. What the hell? No. That did not just happen. I am not seeing that in the darkness. I am not at all seeing shadows move on their own and independently of the items they are supposed to mirror. I must be dreaming still, right? I proceed to close my eyes for what I think is an acceptable amount of time for my surroundings to return to normal. I then hold my breath and listen with my eyes still closed. Nothing. No impenetrable floating miasmas, only the usual, familiar, almost comforting, voluminous silence that occurs only in the middle of the night. I hold my eyelids closed for a few more moments just to be sure. Then slowly and deliberately, I open my eyes, and in what would be considered a field of normal darkness, I see the silhouette of a human-like being of the deepest, darkest Stygian black, standing halfway between the wall and my bed. This being has no eyes, and yet I feel the intensity of its gaze upon me. A gaze blacker than black. Is that a thing, diary? As my ill-equipped eyes attempt to focus and make sense of what must be an irrational figment of my imagination, strange fluctuations in my peripheral vision catch my attention. Reflecting the exact mirror image of the being on the ground is a second being, a second dark being on my ceiling. I am basically a conscious corpse, as none of my limbs will move, not even a nerve will twitch. I take the only action afforded to me. I close my eyes again, but this time I feel the warm, salty wetness as tears well and cascade down my face from each eye. I cannot even scream, diary. It was atrociously harrowing. Had seconds gone by? Minutes? I had no idea. But after some amount of time, I do open my eyes again. I wish I could say my situation improved, but this time the beings were converging right above me and the bed. My mind is woefully unable to comprehend what is happening. I must be having a nightmare, or perhaps a nervous breakdown. Now, the bizarrely conjoined dark beings extend closer, and I start to feel pressure over the top of my body, most acutely on my neck. The beings also appear to anticipate what I'm thinking, for as I try to intake the largest breath I can muster as an attempt to mitigate suffocation, the pressure simultaneously increases over my neck, foiling my very objective. I feel myself losing rational thought, and then I notice another sensation of pressure, now moving along the curves of my hips and the outside of my thighs. Am I being assaulted? What began as blunt pressure evolved into something less aggressive and more nuanced. Whatever the shadows actually were, they seemed curious in the simple creature they had so easily immobilized. My ankles appeared to hold their interest as well, as each contour of bone was traced in tiny circumambulations. The thought-nullifying fear receded enough for me to consider that I may actually survive this ordeal, even though I was still at the mercy of my atrophied limbs. As the sensations begin to travel, I feel them move around each of my feet and transition to the inside of my legs. I cannot be certain, but I believe they are increasing in their movements. My terror immediately returns. Primal fear shatters into my mind. One does not need to be a medium or a psychic to clearly see what these beings are trying to accomplish. The insides of my calves are groped with a purpose that I refuse to accept passively. My mind is finally becoming less fuddled, and I begin to direct my focus on becoming ambulatory once again. Atramentous shadows quicken their pace, and they move up towards my knees. Can they sense my consciousness returning to a waking state? My concentration fixates now on my left hand and projects every iota of strength I possess. After what seems to be an eternity, it happens. My left pinky finger begins to trace S-curves on my sheets. I gesticulate that pinky finger wildly and quickly close my eyes to preserve my intention. Seemingly, before the Sumerian beings have noticed my improved state, My left ring finger now is tapping on the bed. Miraculously, a smile appears on my face. Waves of relief wash over me. The tide has turned. Slowly but systematically, I regain control over each part of my body. With each reversal of their influence, the shadowy pressure weakens. When I feel that there is no more risk, I open my eyes and slowly sit up in bed. Only the slightest vibration of the dark beams remain to be sensed on my skin, and in just a few more moments, they are gone altogether. The disturbing memories remain as my grotesque keepsake diary, along with an uncomfortable apprehension that something like this might happen again. I need to figure out exactly what happened to me. Who were those beings? Is there a way to communicate with them? Could my ordeal be the neurotic symptom of a brain tumor? So many questions. I'm going to research today at school, and I hope to be able to bring more information back when I get home. Perhaps then I can... Oh my God. Is that really the time? Oh my God, I'm going to be late for homeroom. Diary, I gotta go. Mom is going to kill me.